Tropical Storm Kiko has now developed and is potentially taking a track for Hawaii. Along with, we have multiple other areas we are watching for development, and one of which could actually pose a threat to the United States, the main United States, places like Florida. So in today's video, I break down the upcoming severe weather and the upcoming increase in tropical activity that may occur. Here's a look at infrared on Tropical Storm Kiko, soon to be Hurricane Kiko. And this could actually make a push for major hurricane status. This is the National Hurricane Center's latest cone. We can tell here it does look like we are going to get a track a bit further to the south before it pushes more to the north-northeast, and that is where we are watching that risk for it hitting portions of Hawaii, mainly the Big Island. And here's a look at the models. And here's Kiko right now. You can tell kind of takes that southerly track until it starts to turn off to the north. And here's the European model. And you can see same thing, and then it starts to turn off to the north. Back to the GFS as we near Hawaii. You can tell slams just the Big Island. The Big Island may stay a bit north of the eye, but we're definitely watching this closely, as this definitely could shift. And here's the Euro, and you can tell here has that same scenario. So is Hawaii going to be impacted? Possibly, and I'll just keep you updated with the latest. And here's just a look at the spaghetti models across all the different models. As you can tell, all of them pretty much have it turning to the north, northeast. Here it is on the GEFS. You can tell it has them turning to the north, northeast. And here's the GEPS. A lot of them actually have it staying south of Hawaii, but coming very close to the Big Island. So we are definitely going to watch that closely. Here's just a look at the intensity guidance too. You can tell here we do have a model that has it reaching Cat 4 intensity, with most of the models keeping it around Category 1 to Category 3. Not many in Category 3, but it looks like Cat 1 to Cat 2 hurricane is appearing likely. And that is not all. As we move on to the National Hurricane Center, back here in the Atlantic, we do have a 40% chance of development in the next 7 days, as we do have our area of interest. Now, this definitely could pose a risk to Florida, the East Coast, Bermuda. Looking more likely to hit Bermuda. This is our more likely track. This is less likely, but we're still watching it, as this still has a lot of time to shift. Here's just a look at the GFS, and here's our area of interest here. And as it tracks to the west, northwest, it's going to turn for making a track a bit further to the south towards the northern Lesser Antilles, before making a huge turn for Bermuda, and then potentially even heading for the northeast before it hooks out. And here's the European model. So is it going to be a fish storm? It most definitely could be a fish storm. Is it going to be? No. It's just too far out to say with 100% confidence that this is going to be a fish storm. Although the European model does not really have it even developing. So that is definitely something we have to watch, as there is a legitimate chance this does not develop. Now moving on to the severe weather side of things, we do have a marginal risk, a level 1 out of 5 today in portions of Kansas and Oklahoma. I would not rule it out getting pushed a bit further like that, maybe even a bit further to the east towards Tulsa today, and I will go over that in a moment. No tornado risk, but I would not be surprised to see a small 2% risk added in portions of western Oklahoma and southern Kansas. We do have a 5% wind and a 5% hail risk. Moving on to tomorrow, we do have a day 2 marginal risk of severe weather. That does not look too crazy. I would not anticipate an upgrade to a slight risk. No tornado risk, 5% wind, and 5% hail. And moving on to our day 3, we do have a slight risk in this, or a marginal risk, and I do actually anticipate a upgrade to a slight risk across this area with a bit further of a shift to the south in our marginal risk, and I'll go over that in a few moments, why I think that. Here it is, we're on the HRRR and what we can expect today back here in Oklahoma. We do have lingering showers and storms. And as we move forward, we're going to see reignition here within the next 4 hours around the lunchtime hour. And so I think we could get a bit further east. As you can tell, our marginal risk was across like this area. I do think across this area is definitely possible. As we move forward, you can tell it's going to be a pretty large area of cells that go up. We even have a tiny cell near Tulsa that goes up. Now, will that be severe or will this even pop up? Don't know. Things can definitely change, but just something that we need to watch, as although it's not the best environment, we do have a bit of CAPE, and our STP, it's going to be like 0, but I will show it just so you guys can see. As you can tell, we may have a very brief chance of a tornado today. Very, very low, mainly confined to portions of western Oklahoma. But even near Tulsa, if we get a storm, there is going to be a very brief chance of a tornado. And here are my severe threats for today. This is in Oklahoma for today and tonight. You can tell here, I did go at a level 1 out of 10 on the tornado risk. I did go with a level 2 out of 10 on the wind and hail risk, and a level 1 out of 10 on the flooding risk. So, like I said, the chance is definitely there for a brief tornado. Here's the HRRR on what we can expect today, or tomorrow, I should say, in the northern plains. You can tell storms are going to go up tomorrow in portions of Minnesota. And they're just going to be very widely scattered. It is a bit of a question mark across this area, whether we are actually going to see storms. If we do, they definitely could be severe. As we march even farther, though, we're going to see some reignition of storms. And those are going to be the ones that are bringing that damaging wind and large hail potential to this area. So we're definitely going to watch it closely. Now moving on to the jet stream, and we're definitely watching a pretty nice setup as we move throughout September. Like I said, or I should say, happy September 1st. Yeah, believe it or not, it is officially meteorological fall. I at least believe that is correct, and I will double check on that. But it is September and Christmas. It's gonna come up pretty soon, so... But that means that severe weather is also going to ramp up here, and we are about to enter our second tornado season. But as you can tell, here is our jet stream. It is lifted pretty far to the north, our main jet stream. But we do have our jet stream very weak right now, but it is there. And as we move forward, we're going to see it return to the south. And here's what we need to watch. Our low pressure is spinning up in Canada. We have a huge dip and then just a huge ejection. This could set up for a prime setup across this area, portions of the Northeast and Ohio Valley, for a big time severe event. And as we move forward, it is just going to continue. We're going to have a ton of wind shear. And we're going to see a huge dip in the jet stream again around the 8th, which is going to lead to a pretty good setup in the Northeast potentially. So definitely need to watch this one closely. As we move throughout September, our jet stream does look to return farther to the south, and this is going to open up windows of opportunities for more severe weather across portions of the plains, even into Dixie Alley. And here we are. If we go and look at precipitation type and rate, I really want to watch the Northeast here. And as you can tell, as we move a bit further, you can tell we're going to get that line of storms that develops here. And a lot of people are saying this is going to be a derecho. Although we can't rule it out, I would say it's definitely highly unlikely. As we move forward a bit, we're going to see another setup. Now, it does not look like storms are going to fire because our high pressure is going to be there. But if they were to be able to fire, if that high pressure isn't there, we definitely could be seeing some problems. But it just looks like it's going to definitely get a lot more active as we move throughout the month of September. This is the European model here, and it is kind of showing that same thing. We're going to have a pretty nice setup here on Thursday across this area, Ohio Valley into the northeast. And we're going to get another chance, actually a few more chances around the 8th through 10th. And then our jet stream, it's just going to return, it's going to start to push to the south, I should say, opening up that window for severe weather across this area in the plains, along with portions of the Dixie Alley. But don't get me wrong, up here along the east coast into Florida, we are still very much in hurricane season. And here is precipitation type and rate. Euro definitely paints a better picture usually on what could occur, especially on our system here. As you can tell, looks a bit weaker, but it is a very elongated area that we are watching. So definitely are going to keep an eye on this, and I do plan on updating you as often as possible. Sorry, things have just been very busy here lately. So I've been trying my best to get a video out, but this is really like the only opportunity I've got. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And in case you didn't know, this is the first video on the new computer. Let me know if you guys like it, like the quality and all that. And I guess I will see you guys in the next one. Stay weather aware. Bye.